Hey everyone, my name is Sully. Welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to talk about my second internship with UMSL Athletics because I was with them last semester in the spring. But let's begin. Uh, there we go. All right, so this time around, I had a bit more of a focused role with UMSL Athletics, working with them this semester. Last year it was a bit more general role. I was doing a lot of different things, helping on game day as far as like, production and stats and just like maybe even doing like some helping with the music or the replay or whatever. But this year I was much more focused. You could probably say I was a media relations intern because I worked under my supervisor, Luke Rennie, who is the assistant AD for media relations at UMSL. And so I did a lot of stuff with him on that. And my main role throughout the entire year was doing stats for the games. So basically scoring the games, and I'd use the NCAA system live stats. That's what they use for all of college athletics in the NCAA. And so yeah, basically every UMSL home game we had this semester, I was there to help score and input stats, and that was my main role. Aside from that, on off days, I'd come in and I'd work on some side projects while also like getting prepared for upcoming games, as far as like helping with the broadcast and like getting rosters put in and getting things set up for the broadcast that's coming up for a home game. Um, as far as like my projects, my main one throughout the semester was researching past viewership data on all of our previous UMSL sports broadcasts. It was really interesting to look up on our website, or on the Huddle website that we use to broadcast our games, all the different viewership numbers and how much they fluctuate from time to time, um, as far as that goes. And then of course I help tear down and set up before games and after games and all that stuff that I like like all the other game day ops interns did too. So as far as my goals for this internship, like I said in my goals video earlier in the year, my two main goals were like just really diving deep into analytics and stats, since that was like my main focus in this internship. And then number two was to try and take on a bit more of a leadership slash mentor role, since this is my second time around with UMSL athletics. And I feel like I achieved both those goals pretty well, especially the first one. Um, I did a lot of stats this year, and I really learned a lot, especially about sports that I'm not very too familiar with, like volleyball. I'd never really watched like a volleyball game ever in my life before this internship, but then I watched like, every single one of our team's games pretty much. And I learned a lot about the sport and just as far as stats goes and keeping track. And I really enjoyed it too, because the volleyball games were so intense, and just being there on the like I am here just at the scores table, and being a part of just running the game and taking stats is really fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I learned so much about the sport. Um, and as far as like uh, taking on a leadership role, earlier in the semester, since I kind of knew a lot about how to do production truck and how to do stats and how things go, that I was really teaching as many things as I could to and the interns around me, just trying to make sure to get us all eased into this. And especially if Luke or Alex wasn't available to talk to them, and I'd be there to help out and answer any questions from them. And then once we get later into the semester and everybody was starting to like get settled in and understand what we're doing every day, um, that was when we had a new student worker come in. His name was Sam, and he did a lot of the production for the broadcast of these games. And working with him was great. I tried to make sure that he knew exactly how things were going to go, and and like how to work with Bob, our play-by-play guy, and how to tear everything down at the end of the day. And I just trying to help him out, and he became a really key part of the broadcast for us, because he did all of the games for the regional volleyball tournament we had this past couple weekends ago, and he was great. So it was really great to see other people grow and be trying to help out as best I can with that. And yeah, I really feel like I achieved these goals because of it. As far as biggest takeaways from this internship, I learned a lot. And number one, I have it listed right here, it really solidified my passion for stats and analytics since I really got to dive deeper into it. Unlike last semester, I've always had like an interest in numbers and learning the details and the stats and of different sports, but this one was I really got to enjoy that this year, especially with volleyball, like I said, and so that was just a really big key takeaway for me. Secondly, going on trips was pretty great. This picture you see right here is from me going to East Peoria, Illinois, to work the GLVC soccer championships. Um, that was a pretty great trip. Just over the weekend, go out there. I mean, we worked really long days, but I got paid. All travel expenses were paid for, and it was a really fun trip. Just meeting with the full time workers, including the commissioner of the GLVC. Thirdly, we got long hours of sports industry. I just said, like this trip, I had like a 13-hour day. Um, it's just that's just how it is when you're in the sports industry. When you're running tournaments and lots of games, and things will just go long, and there's things that you can't predict, and that's why I have Murphy's Law in here. What can go wrong will go wrong, because there's just things that uh not a day goes by working in sports where everything goes perfect, where everything is flawless, everything's on time and nothing screws up. There's no issues with technology. Everybody shows up on time, but like you get what I'm saying. You just have to really learn how to adapt and overcome these types of obstacles and situations, and that's why I have that on there. Time management is also key. Making sure things are on time and just keeping track of the clock as much as you can is really important with running sports events. And then lastly, what I tell to my younger self is, again, like, prepare, um, because things can go wrong, and always be available. Because if things are going great and you like have your things stuff and you're ready to go and you got time before the game, just try to be available. I'd love to tell myself that, because then it's like, if anybody needs anything, I'm there and I can help out. Now, for advice for the students, incoming students, if you haven't, if you're just getting started, you're enrolling in the students in the sport management program, first thing that you need to know is, like, you got to figure out what you want to learn in sports, because sports management is a broad degree. It's about doing lots of different other things in sports and just being a part of everything. But obviously, when you get a job, you can't just do everything. And so you got to really find that one specific area in sports management, one little niche, whether it's, ticket sales or marketing or stats and analytics. Just find something that you're passionate about and really dive deep into it. But then also, you can try other things too if you want to. Try everything if you don't know what you're doing. That's what I got there as well. As far as current students, it's never too late to change what you want to do. So if you tried something for a year and you didn't like it, it's never too late to go decide to change something else. Maybe you don't even want to. Maybe you want to change majors, whatever. It's never too late to do that. Also, utilize LinkedIn a lot, because um, we're going to making posts and making connections about your internships and your career and your academics is really important to building, like, a personal brand for yourself. And speaking of, like, internships, make sure you take a lot of photos, specifically of yourself doing it. Like, ask people to take photos of you when you're doing your internships, because those are going to be really important for you to, like, post on LinkedIn to show what you are doing and how you are doing it for your internships, to really give people a sense of what you're doing. And then, as far as the sport management program, pretty simple. Ask Dr. Baleska if you have any questions. She'll get right back to you. And then, a little pro tip: take extra internships, because then it'll actually grant fewer academic courses. You'll get to take less electives for your degree program if you take extra internships, which is just great. And that's a great focus on getting experience is more important in this program than just regular coursework, because the sport management program is not a traditional degree program where it's just you go take classes for 4 years, maybe get one internship as you and before you graduate, and then you get a job. No, it's a lot more uh, work experience based while taking lesser coursework because that's not as big of a priority. But so that's just my advice for incoming, current students, all that. And then to wrap things up, at this point, I spent a full year with UMSL Athletics, and I got to say, it's really a great way to get started in the sports industry. Um, Before this, I'd only taken one internship. I was in marketing with the Hoots, but then I took this internship with UMSL Athletics, and I've really learned a lot about all the different types of sports and different ways to get into college athletics, and a lot of different keys and a lot of different factors to really dive into. And I just really enjoyed my time there, and I grew a lot in my professional career. And I got to say thank you, of course, to the UMSL Tritons. Go Tritons! Thank you so much for watching. That's it for this presentation, and yeah.